So Naqib, it's been 100 days since New Malaysia, and you actually mapped out a timeline of the most significant events. Now, what stood out to me were the top brass shake-up at Malaysian GLCs and of course the reopening of the 1MDB prop. But what stood out to you?
Yeah, like you mentioned, like a lot of stuff happened within the first 100 days. It was quite exciting. We've seen like a few of the leaders in the GLCs getting booted out, resigning.
Yep.
Then there were the review of the mega projects, and they replaced the GST with the SST.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the most interesting thing to me as a reporter was the whole 1MDB debacle, because previously we didn't really have much, we didn't really do much investigation into it. But then with the new government, they started pulling out everything, so now we're starting to see how big this thing really is.
So speaking of 1MDB, it makes for good entertainment, but the guys we spoke to, it didn't seem like a priority for them.
Yep.
So what is their main concern?
I think there were a few areas that they highlighted, common areas. One would be the whole thing with fiscal sustainability. They've removed the GST, so now there's a gap in government revenue.
Right.
So they have to address that. Then there's a lot of talk about education. I guess previously not much has been done besides changing the language of like how you learn maths, you know, English or BM, things like that.
Right.
So now they're talking about how to prepare for the fourth industry revolution and you know how to prepare for the future workforce and all that. And the other thing was that the B40, like what kind of policies that could help this segment of society, you know, which could help push the economy, I guess.
In Tun Mahathir's 100-day speech, he admitted that the government will need more time to fix Malaysia and fulfill its promises. But having said that, is the worst over for our country?
I don't think so, because this is like the first change in government since, I don't know, the British times, right? That's like, what, 60 years ago?
Yeah, 60 years
ago.
ago.
So only now we're seeing the extent of the, I can say like damage, I guess, due to the previous government being in power for too long. And now, I don't think the worst is over. There's a lot to be done, and firstly they need to like address this whole fiscal thing, because we need money to fix the other stuff, right?
Yep.
So we can't just like start doing everything at once. So probably take years.
So we've gotten rid of Biro Tata Negara and also National Service and all these other initiatives to trim cost. Will this help us with our fiscal reform?
I'm pretty sure it will. We need like every bit of savings we can get. So it's a big problem, right, with the 1 trillion debt. So I guess every bit helps.
So, you know, of course, the inevitable truth is that there's no way we can fix Malaysia in 100 days. So the guys we spoke to for this cover story, is there one thing that we can fix but won't take years?
In my opinion, I guess one thing that has been sort of fixed was the giving hope back to the people. People were kind of hopeless before.
We have been very hopeless. Yep.
So now there's all this talk of reforms and stuff. It's sort of like, people are more willing to give their suggestions and without worrying, like there's more freedom of speech, you know.
Yeah. So just not fiscal reform, but we're also talking about freedom of speech.
Yep. So people are less afraid, I guess, or more confident in speaking their mind, without worrying too much of the repercussions. Although there are, you know, there'll probably be some hiccups here and there, but we're seeing that going through. But overall, I think it's just hope, you know. So we'll have to see how this pans out over the next few years. So it's pretty hopeful now.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Age Weekly at all good newsstands.